Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2024 Nissan Pathfinder Platinum. And today, I'm gonna review it for you guys. Starting out up front on this new Pathfinder Platinum, I personally think this is the best looking Pathfinder that Nissan has ever made, and I'd argue it might be one of the best looking SUVs that Nissan has ever made. Starting out with the front end here, you will have full LED headlights and then LED daytime running lights and incandescent turn signals. Moving a little bit lower on the front end, you'll have parking sensors, and then in the center of the grille, you'll have Nissan's new logo. Not a lot has changed on Nissan's logo, but it has been modernized just a little bit. And then below that, you will have a camera that works in conjunction with the 360-degree camera system. There's also a camera at the top of the windshield that's a part of Nissan's Safety Shield 360 technology, which gives you lane departure warning, automatic emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, automatic high beams, and a host of other safety features. Moving underneath the hood in the Pathfinder Platinum, this is powered by a 3.5-liter V6, making 284 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. The EPA estimates for the Pathfinder are 20 city, 25 highway, with 22 combined. Moving to the profile of the Pathfinder, starting here with the wheels and tires, you'll get 255/50 Bridgestone tires around these 20-inch wheels. And then you'll have these matte black fender flares, which continue around the rocker panel area here. You'll also have a chrome strip that says Pathfinder. And you'll get body-colored mirror caps with a turn signal indicator implemented here on the Platinum. And then you'll have a camera for the 360-degree camera system, blind spot monitoring. They are also power adjustable and power folding mirrors. You'll have keyless entry here on the front and also on the rear doors, which is very convenient. One additional cool detail on the exterior of this Pathfinder is that at night when you open the doors, it displays the Nissan logo on the ground as a puddle light. And then moving here to the rear, again, I think it's just as sleek as up front. It says Pathfinder blacked out right here, Platinum 4-wheel drive, and then you'll have parking sensors on the rear and a tow hitch down here. My press Pathfinder also included this optional Yakima bike rack that's available on Nissan's online store, and they also included this optional snowboard and ski mount for the bike rack, but I don't have a snowboard or skis, so here's a generic picture of what that looks like. Nissan also included their off-road adventure kit with this particular Pathfinder. That's an available option for some of their vehicles, and it includes all of these incredibly useful items. Then above your license plate, you'll have your backup camera, and then the button to open up the rear liftgate. You just tap that and it will open automatically. There's also a button here to lock the vehicle and lower this if you'd like. And of course, there are a couple of different ways to tackle this liftgate. You don't just have to press the button there. There is also the ability to swipe your foot. That will open it too. That is such a nifty feature. You also have the ability to tap the button on the key fob. This is a new key fob for Nissan. I'm so proud of them. They were using the same key fob for years, and it very quickly became dated, but this is a very updated version. You'll have remote start, lock and unlock, and panic, as well as that button to open up the rear liftgate. Moving back here, you will have a 12-volt. There is a little bit more storage down here, actually a decent amount. And then you can see I have one set of the third row seats folded down, just to give you an idea of how much storage you get. But I'd also like to show you how to do that if you want to fold the other one down. My fingers are so cold here. It's a really nippy day. It's been very warm, and then today it's like 20 something. And then you can just hit this button right here. Whoop, gotta keep hitting that button. And then you can fold down your third row fully to give you a much more spacious area back here. I really like that. And then it's very easy. If you want to pull it up, you just pull those up and you can bring your whole third row up very quickly. So that is a neat feature. And then you still have a pretty decent amount of storage back here. You could definitely fit a fair bit of groceries here. You're not compromising too much. Moving to the interior of the Pathfinder Platinum. This is an amazing space to spend time on a road trip. It looks incredibly premium, and it feels even more so. These seats are power adjusting with power lumbar. They're also heated and cooled. If we go over here to the door panel, this is soft touch up here, as well as this spot down here. So wherever you choose to rest your arm, it's very comfortable. You'll have your window controls right here, your mirror controls, and the aforementioned power folding mirror button right there. And then you'll have your settings for the seats and the automatic memory. Then down here, you will have a button that brightens or dims your fully digital gauge cluster screen. We'll talk about that in a second. This button turns off your steering assist for the safety system. Then you will have another button to open up the rear liftgate. And this button right here turns on and off the digital speedometer on your windshield. I'll cut to a clip of it. I can see it with my own eyes right now, but on camera it's very hard to pick up because of the refresh rate. Moving down here to that fully digital gauge cluster, that's controlled with your steering wheel controls right here. There is so much customization, so many menus to go through. You can even change what your full screen layout looks like. So you can see my music comes a little bit more forward with a compass, and then the speedometer that is digital, that takes a little bit more of a back seat, and I can move to just this blank screen if I want. You know, there's so many options. You can just make it blank, a little bit more simplistic if you'd like. So quite a lot to do with this digital gauge cluster screen. And then pulling out to the steering wheel, it is very comfortable with paddle shifters. Love to see that. I think it's funny, a lot of these big SUVs are getting paddle shifters now, and I'm here for it. Moving over here, you will have your push button start and then a 12.3-inch infotainment system. Not the biggest in the industry, but I don't need a gigantic screen. I think this gets the job done really well. You can see I have Apple CarPlay up right now. It is very quick, very responsive. You can really mess with quite a lot of things in here. Going out to the regular menu, you can see my music, and the option to go back into CarPlay is right there. There is built-in navigation, so if you don't want to use Google Maps or Apple Maps, you can use that. There is a weather app built in here, and kind of a bunch of standard car stuff. Bluetooth, you can see the different device settings right there. For the most part, it's pretty neat. You can see the Sirius XM scores, stocks, fuel prices, stuff like that. But I think most people will probably end up staying in CarPlay. The majority of the time, though, there is some nice features to be had in the traditional menu. If I put this into reverse really quick, you can see there is a top-down 360-degree camera with guiding lines. So as I turn the wheel, the lines here change, and then putting it back into park, it's going to bring us back to that regular menu. You do have physical buttons down here, which I love, and I love the little texture to the piano black look right here. I really like that kind of sparkle. I think that adds a premium feel on this bezel area in this lower portion. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. The buttons are really tactile, very firm. I really like how premium they feel, especially the climate controls down here. It doesn't feel chintzy or cheap. It feels really high-end. You'll have heated and cooled seat buttons right there. You'll also have the heated steering wheel button. This does come with a heated steering wheel, which is cool. I'm going to go back to the heated seats because it's a cold day. I was like, why did I turn the air-conditioned seats on? And then you'll have physical buttons down here for your climate controls with a little digital readout that will display different things right there for you. Down here, you'll have a wireless charger. You'll also get USB, USB-C, and a 12-volt. And then your shifter, which is kind of unique. So if I put my foot on the brake, I can pull back. Now I'm in drive. You'll see that right there. I can push up to be in reverse. And then if I want to go to park, I just press park right there. So pretty useful. Does take a little bit of getting used to, but I don't mind it at all. There's a little spot you can put your phone right there. 2 cup holders. Auto engine start stop functionality off button. Boy, that's a mouthful. But basically, if you come to a traffic light and you want to preserve fuel, this will automatically turn the engine off. And if you don't want that functionality, you would tap this. That'll turn that feature off. Right here, you'll have your electronic parking brake and your drive mode selector with hill descent control in the center. So if I spin this dial, you can see I have Eco, Sport, Tow. I also have Auto, Snow, Mud and Rut, and Sand. So there is a lot of different functionalities there. As I turn this dial, though, you can see it does come up and tell me what mode I'm in on the left side, though it doesn't change the full layout of the gauges like some other SUVs do. But I digress. It's cool that you have those modes regardless. That's a very minor nitpick. And then right here it says Pathfinder. Opening this up, you will have some storage and a spot to hold a pen. And then up here you have an auto dimming mirror, spot for your sunglasses, and then your dome lights and the buttons for your panoramic moonroof. Love to see that. It's very, very cool. And then you have your SOS emergency buttons right there. And then lastly up front, I wanted to talk quick about storage. Right underneath here in the center tunnel, there's a big storage area. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. I'll have to cut to a clip, but it is massive. You could even put an entire DiGiorno pizza in there if you wanted, and it can be your own pizza pouch. There's also a little storage area right here that says Pathfinder, and you do have a pretty decently sized glove box and some good storage on the door pockets. Moving to the second row, the door opens almost to 90 degrees, which is very nice if you need to load someone in the second row with a car seat or something like that. A lot of accessibility there. You also have a ton of space. This is where I would be sitting in the front seat at 5'9", and I probably have 7 inches of legroom and maybe 2 to 3 inches of headroom. These captain's chairs are very nice, and you do get heated seats back here and your own set of climate controls, which is really, really nice. USB and USB-C right here. Then you also have a household power outlet, and then 2 cup holders in a small storage area right here. This is probably the best view of the panoramic moonroof and really livens up this interior. It opens it up quite a bit, and you do have your own vents right there, which is nice, and your own little lights, as well as grab handles. There are cup holders right here, window controls, and then your door handle, and then you get that great sunshade that you played with as a child but forgot existed as an adult. Well, it's here on the new Pathfinder Platinum. That is always really cool to see. Let's take a look at the third row. So if I want to access the third row easily, I can just tap this button, and that's going to bring the seat forward, which is really useful for me. That allows me to get up here very easily. My legs are basically touching the second row seats. It's pretty cramped back here, I won't lie. I have, again, maybe 2 inches of headroom or so. It's not a ton, but it definitely is sittable. I'm not like up to my knees aren't up to my chest. I do have a tiny bit of room, and then I do have a USB back here, 2 cup holders, speaker, and my own air vent. So that helps it be a little less claustrophobic back here. But you could definitely fit 3 adults back here very briefly on a road trip. I don't know if I would say have a whole 8-hour road trip, but it definitely does work. And then if I need to get out, I can just tap this button and it will bring the seat forward. Driving the Nissan Pathfinder Platinum, I've had a lot of fun with this SUV over the last week, and I've gotten a unique opportunity because just a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to review the Honda Pilot Elite, which is sort of a direct competitor to this Pathfinder, being a 3-row family SUV. And in this particular case, both vehicles have a luxurious brown interior. Now, I happen to like the interior color just a little bit more here on the Pathfinder, but I also like the driving dynamics a little bit more on the Pathfinder. I think it's a little bit more refined, it feels slightly sportier, and the outside exterior styling is a little bit sharper, a little bit more sleek than that Pilot. Not to say that the Pilot is a bad SUV, definitely still one of my top picks for a family SUV. Now, specifically here on the Pathfinder, the acceleration is really nice. If I hit the gas here, it responds fairly quickly, and you can hear it for a big 3-row SUV like this. It's very nimble around corners, and the braking is very nice. I also like the added benefit of the heated steering wheel on this particular model. It is super nice. I have the heated steering wheel on all the time here in Pennsylvania. I'm filming this in March. I think this will come out around the end of March. I'm filming it early March. But I digress. There's a lot of other cool features in here as well. The heads-up display on the windshield, for example, is another feature that I really love. I think it's very nifty, and I'm glad to see it being adopted by more automotive manufacturers recently. On this particular Pathfinder, it gives you much more than just a digital speedometer. It also tells you where to turn if you have the GPS plugged in, and if you're skipping songs, it'll tell you what's up next on the windshield, which is just such a neat feature, and I particularly think that's a cool standout highlight. These seats are very comfortable. You sink right into them. I could probably go on as long as I did about the heated steering wheel, about how comfortable these seats are, but I won't bore you with that. The lumbar support is very nice, so I think they hold you in very well, again, especially around those corners. There are a lot of manufacturers out there that once you reach 150, 200,000 miles, that you'd begin to question how much longer the vehicle will go. Personally, I think Nissan is up there with Toyota and Honda in the more reliable long-term vehicle category. So if you're looking for a luxury family SUV that you plan to keep for a very long time, I would look at a Nissan. Well, that is just about going to wrap up my review of the new Pathfinder. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Before I go, though, I'd like to mention that I am a Christian, and if you have any prayer requests, I would love to be able to pray for you guys. You can leave those in the comment section below. And lastly, I like to close out on a scriptural reading. This week, I'm in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 27. Jesus is speaking here, and I think this is incredibly valuable wisdom. And which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his span of life? Think about that. You know, we're anxious all the time, but that doesn't help us in any way. Yet we kind of take comfort in that. We're like, oh, okay, I can try to figure this out. But realistically, we're not benefiting ourselves by being anxious. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and remember, no matter what vehicle you have, I hope it lasts you a long time and it serves you well.